It me. So, welcome back to our video. It's me and Sam. GZ's behind the camera.
Hey!
Oh! Anyway. Basically, we're talking about... we're on a map relevant to what we're talking about. We're going to be talking about the evolution of my Gmod modes. If you didn't know I made Gmod modes, clearly you have not watched my channel or GZ's channel. By the way, watch GZ's channel if you're interested. But anyway.
Hello.
But the point is... Why am I right in front of the camera? The point is, we're talking about the evolution of my modes, because it's very cool. So,
Mhm.
I'm gonna do sort of cut thing. So, the very first mode I made... sorry, I just had to do 3 different takes. The very first mode I made is called Battleground. And it was a very, very bare bones mode. Like, you could barely even call it a mode compared to my usual standards now, but... it was a battle royale like mode.
Yeah, so basically, how it went is something along the lines of. Hold on. Let me see. If I can. Okay, so basically, how it would basically go is. Oh my god, that redundant sentence! Is that you would have, like, first of all, you would have a save, like, all the guns and stuff. And then someone would have to manually place all the vehicles down
Oh my
with
god.
before the match or whatever we would call it would start, and then boom, that's when we would start doing our stuff.
Pain.
Worked for the
Pain.
time until we figured out,
That it sucked.
yeah, and made a better system.
Yeah, except that was a long way away. The earliest this thing could be traced was August 9th of 2021.
Yeah.
It's a very early mode. Hey, you see this sci-fi looking map that we have here? Jeezy's behind the camera with a taser and he just tased you. You okay? Anyway, now that you've been electrocuted by GZ here, we're talking about sci-fi, which is my second mode ever. But actually, if you've ever watched my channel, you would know that you probably watched the sci-fi videos that we made. Let me tell you something. It's actually much different than the original was much different than the sci-fi you see. It's the same sci-fi, but sci-fi actually used to be a battleground clone.
Yep, it just used to be a sci-fi version of the original Battleground like, we did a remaster of it. When exactly?
We did well. The earliest I can find of its existence is like around August of 2021. Around the same time as Battleground. The remaster, I'm not really sure because it was a slow transition, but it slowly turned into a class-based PvP shooter, which was really fun. So there's a fun story about sci-fi that it's a really funny story. There's a class called Reaper that's always been a pain to balance because the original Reaper, there was a point in time that the Reaper could run extremely fast. It was so unbalanced.
Oh yeah.
Now it's kind of balanced, but anyway, yeah, the sci-fi, and then there was sci-fi Horde, which was the first one to use the entity spawner, which slowly evolved into my new modes. So sci-fi really evolved the concept of all my modes as a whole. And speaking of modes, let's go on to the next one. Hey, so now we're talking about the second version of Battleground. Oh my god. So anyway, we're talking about the second version of Battleground, which was arguably the worst. It still used the save system. So you still had to manually place vehicles. You still had to. It was all the same weapons all the time. Jeezy shooting a gun. But this lasted all of about, like, I'd say a week, maybe less in terms of fun. Maybe less than a
Yeah.
day. Cause like, I was trying to revive Battleground, you know, make it fun again. Oh, you can see how well that went.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much else to say about it aside from they use RCW weapons, not their defeat weapons.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask, just this is a shorter one. On to the biggest, the second biggest failure. Hey, it's me, SM. I took a trip around the entire world to get here. No, I didn't. But, uh, I mean, basically, have you seen the difference between these maps? Anyway, we're talking about Cavemen, which was actually a very important mode, but not because it succeeded.
Yeah, it's another one of those modes where it was important, but it didn't exactly go well.
Yeah, so this one was called Caveman, and it was a dinosaur-based survival mode. Oh, I wonder where that seems familiar. No, it wasn't a copy of Arch, but uh, basically, it was my first survival mode, and its ammo, basically everything was really unbalanced. That you could just farm the spawn. It just wasn't really fun. But
Yeah.
it was actually really important because it was my first survival mode and actually laid the foundation for Undead Rising.
Yeah. You
Uh,
see all those Undead Rising videos I pop out like every so often?
if you just,
Yeah,
by
it
the
came
way,
from this.
yeah, I'm gonna promote Jesus' channel real quick. So skip ahead if you want, but trust me, you might be interested. So here's a segment where I talk about what I was gonna talk about. Uh, Basically, GZ here has his own YouTube channel, which you probably already knew. What you might not have known is he has a playthrough series of one of my modes, which we'll be going over shortly, called Undead Rising, which Cavemen laid the foundation for, because it was my first ever survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
Cavemen is just a really interesting piece of mode history for us, because it didn't go well at all, but it actually laid the foundation for a lot of my new stuff, so
Yeah. Like, yeah, and like, you gotta fall over a couple times before you can start walking and then eventually running.
yep. And I fold over like this. It's BSM. I just broke my knees, and we're going to be talking about Battleground Ultimate. So, the earliest this one could be traced, I found, was May 1st of 2022. And so basically, this was the most recent version of Battleground, which was not a failure, actually. This one actually succeeded. But only because of the first mode, which was called BG44, which is on this map. Basically, it takes day defeat source weapons and just it's fun all around. And we actually had a good spawning system for this, so you didn't have to manually place the vehicles. Anyway,
Yeah.
so the weapons vehicles properly spawned. Finally, I made it so you spawn in the sky with like a parachute, so you can go anywhere you want when you spawn instead of running all the way to whatever location you're going.
Yeah.
And so this one is successful. It's still going. We still play it sometimes. I might update. I don't know yet. But anyway, on to the final one. Welcome to the cornfield, the source of all your Undead Rising pain. And here with me is, as he has been the entire video, GZ.
Hold on. Hey, mate.
Yeah, he's using his favorite shotgun from Undead Rising. The reason I say this is the source of all your Undead Rising pain is if you've ever gone to the cornfield and if you played Undead Rising, it is traumatizing. Fast
Yeah.
zombies everywhere, so I thought this would be the best place to, put it. 'Cause it'd be fun. Anyway,
Yeah.
Undead Rising is the last one I'll be talking about, but it is my second survival mode. Technically, my first finished survival mode, except it's still not exactly finished, but
It's close to being finished.
yeah, very close. And so this one is a lot more balanced, and I found I struck gold when I was making this in terms of fun, because I played this with multiple different people multiple times, and the fun it never seems to get old.
Yeah.
And so.
And also, another part of this is that SM also tends to speedrun this mode.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Like, what was the record of, like, the last time you set for speedruns?
I think like 6 minutes, 20 seconds, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I speed run my own mode sometimes, because there is an actual end to it,
Yeah.
which I thought would be nice. The worst part of Undead Rising, though, is not dying. It is not losing your items. It is leaving the game.
Yeah.
Because you leave all your possessions and your base behind, which is so sad, but then you get to start a new one and have even more fun, so...
Yeah, so it's just like... It's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I will be going over for this video. Thanks for GZ's idea while we were making this. I might do more in-depth ones about specific modes, though.
Yeah.
Until next time,
See ya. Uh-oh. No!